Welcome to the Untitled Masterpiece, an amazing circus, episode 5, Untitled Review. Yes, welcome back, dear viewers, to another emotionally exhausting installment of The Amazing Circus, episode 5. Title? Oh, it's just called Untitled, because of course it is. We've moved past trivial things like names now. This is art, postmodern, mysterious. Or maybe someone just forgot to save the file. Who knows? Anyway, buckle up for another 10-minute journey into an arena where logic goes to die, elephants retire early, and gravity takes a vacation. This episode promises thrills, chills, and enough clown makeup to trigger an existential crisis. Oh, and spoilers ahead. But let's be honest, can you really spoil something that's already rotten? Let's dissect this masterpiece of chaotic mediocrity one circus act at a time, shall we? The show kicks off with, drumroll, a clown who's afraid of balloons. Yep, you heard me. Mr. Jiggly Wiggles makes his grand entrance, trips over his own shoelaces, and screams at the sight of a red balloon like it's Pennywise with a bank loan. He tries juggling rubber chickens, but they all mysteriously explode on contact. He attempts to ride a unicycle and manages to reinvent gravity by falling sideways into the popcorn stand. The audience? Confused. A child cries. A grandmother applauds, possibly sarcastically. The symbolism? Oh, clearly, it's a commentary on the futility of chasing joy in a late-stage capitalist dystopia. Or maybe it's just a man in polka dots having a very public meltdown. Either way, riveting stuff. The act ends with Jiggly Wiggles getting stuck in his own clown car. They have to call in the fire department. Again, 10 out of 10 performance if you're measuring by how many times someone can honk their nose before passing out from shame. Next up, the lion. Or more accurately, a lion-shaped creature who has completely checked out of reality. They roll out a majestic cage, smoke machines, dramatic music, a whip-wielding trainer named the Great Rarmondo, and a lion who is so done with this gig, it's literally napping. Rarmondo waves, shouts commands, does a full interpretive dance. The lion doesn't move. It blinks twice, once in slow motion, then the trainer jumps through a ring of fire himself just to get some applause. Nothing like setting yourself on fire to distract from a sleeping cat. Eventually, Rarmondo pulls out a stake. The lion lifts its head, yawns, and then, plot twist, licks the trainer's face and promptly goes back to sleep. Rarmondo bows like he just solved world peace. Bravo. Symbolism? The lion represents the average viewer's attention span during this episode. Enter Dexter the Daring. With 17 flaming torches, a live pigeon on his head, and the self-confidence of a man who peaked in 8th grade. He announces he'll juggle the past, present, and future. Deep, right? Except by future, he means a blender. A working blender, on, with ice cubes inside. He throws the torches. 2 hit the floor. 1 lands in a cotton candy stand. The pigeon flaps off in terror. Dexter stares at the blender like it insulted his mother. He tries again, this time blindfolded, which seems unnecessary since he's already failing with his eyes open. Audience reaction. Half are on their phones, the rest are recording in case he sets himself on fire. Again. Eventually, he abandons the juggling entirely and starts breakdancing. Why? Because why not? And then the blender explodes. A kid gets sprayed with strawberry smoothie. Bravo. The applause he receives is mainly relief. Time for the aerial silks team. The tumbling twins trademark. Except there are 3 of them, because math is just a suggestion in this circus. Their routine begins with grace and poise. Silk ribbons, delicate leaps. Then, during a mid-air triple flip, one twin grabs the wrong ribbon. And chaos ensues. They spin out of control. One lands in the cotton candy stand again. That poor stand has seen things. The remaining 2 try to improvise by forming a human windmill while the third crawls back up using a rope ladder that was absolutely not part of the original choreography. At some point, the lights go out, and when they return, everyone's just standing awkwardly, pretending that none of it happened. They all bow like they just cured acrobatic cancer. Symbolism? This act is the perfect metaphor for 2025. Unpredictable, chaotic, and held together by glitter and trauma. The final act promises death-defying stunts and pyrotechnics. What we get is mildly concerning sparks and a goat on roller skates. Yes, the goat. Her name is Margaret. She has more charisma than half the cast combined. Margaret skates in, dragging a cart filled with glitter cannons. They go off, 10 seconds early. Confetti flies. The ringmaster yells, "Wait!" Not yet. But it's too late. Margaret has declared war on the script. The rest of the cast joins her, trying to salvage the mess with a synchronized dance that feels like a rejected TikTok trend. The ringmaster accidentally ignites a firework. It flies backward, hits the cotton candy stand. Seriously, someone give that thing a vacation. And everyone scatters like pigeons in a thunderstorm. The show ends not with a bang, but with a whimper, and someone yelling, "Is that goat smoking?" Curtains close. Not out of choice, but because the curtain rod snaps and falls. Ever wondered how this glorious disaster came together? Turns out the circus budget is slightly below that of a birthday party clown with a fear of commitment. The tent? Rented. The popcorn? Reheated. The unicycles? Missing wheels. The lion? Technically a rescue cat with a perm. The director, who shall remain nameless, mainly because they quit mid-episode, left a sticky note on the director's chair. You can't direct what refuses to be directed. Rehearsals consisted of vague hand gestures and everyone being told to just feel the moment. Translation: wing it like your rent depends on it. Every mistake? Passed off as intentional artistic risk. The goat? Not part of the cast. She wandered in from a nearby farm and simply refused to leave. On the internet, chaos is content, and this episode is a goldmine. Twitter has thoughts. Pretty sure the lion was my spirit animal. Relatable. That goat deserves an Emmy. Is this circus a social experiment? Reddit threads range from deep analysis, is Untitled a metaphor for the human condition, to I paid $12 for this and now I see sounds. Fan reviews are split. Some call it a post-absurdist triumph of postmodern critique. Others just call it clown garbage but make it sparkly. One popular YouTuber rated it 2 out of 5 stars. Bonus half star for the pigeon cameo. So, was Amazing Circus Episode 5, Untitled Review, worth it? Absolutely. If your definition of worth it includes crippling secondhand embarrassment, a lion with union rights, a goat that stages a hostile takeover, and a juggler that might be banned in 3 countries, it's a disaster piece. A flaming cartwheel of odd decisions, spontaneous combustions, and clowns questioning their life choices mid-performance. Rating 6.9 out of 10. Because nice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go file for emotional compensation from Margaret the Goat. And remember, kids, when life feels like a circus, make sure you're not the clown.